It's almost like a cross between dancing and martial arts type thing. Portraying some sort of story to the audience, you're landing on certain beats and transitioning on other parts of the music and kind of tying it all together in a performance. Why does no one pose like they used to pose back in like the 80s and the 90s and all this sort of stuff? Watching those guys. Like I'm not the biggest guy, and so the things that I have focused on have been presenting something beautiful, aesthetic, and artistic.
He's a contest prep coach, posing coach, athlete, and artist. 20 years experience, in fact. His niche is classic physique, classic posing. He's focused. Obviously, he loves posing. An author, trainer for the beginner to the professional. 40 comps. INBA Mr. Natural Olympia. I'm sure we'll go into that a little bit more. If I get it wrong, I apologize. Winner overall 2020. Got his pro card, Arnold Classic, and 2 times Arnold Australia lightweight champion, and many, many other wins. Bachelor of Applied Science, Diploma in Fitness, Certificate in the Power of Training, Cert 3 Trainer and Assessor, Certified Sports Nutrition Specialist, and Recon, I don't know what that means, Specialist. You can tell us more about that. With all that mouthful of goodies, please help me welcome Pete Hartwig. How are you, Pete?
Hey, great.
How was that introduction?
Yeah, it was.
Did you know you
good
were that
actually?
Good?
Yeah. It
Oh,
sort of covered my whole history. I mean, we probably
did, man.
end it there, I reckon.
All right, we're done, Chris.
Yeah.
All right. Well, firstly, thank you so much for joining me. I mean, before I ask the questions, I think I said a few things off air, but I'll say them again. Fuck, man, you're posing. Like, honestly, like, my favorite musical is Les Mis. Right? I love the theater. You're like the theater, man. What the fuck's going on there? What are you doing to the posing world? What's going on? Because you are doing something quite special. I believe you are. Tell us.
Well, thanks. I really appreciate that. It's really good to have that art appreciated as well.
It is art. It's art, bro.
Yeah, I think it's just something that I've always been passionate about since I got into bodybuilding, since I started competing in bodybuilding. I think some of it came from like I'm not the biggest guy, and so the things that I have focused on have been just presenting something beautiful, aesthetic, and artistic. And I've always been passionate about like art in like many different forms as well, from like doing like acting, and I did musicals and stuff when I was a bit younger.
Make sure we tap into that.
So yeah, I've been on stage for a whole bunch of reasons before.
My daughter's a triple threat.
Oh, so cool!
Singing, acting, she starts at one of the elite, acting, dancing, singing, and she's at quite an elite school. But it blows my mind about you people on stage. I just love it. Go on.
Yeah, it's I think the world needs more of that. Particularly in the bodybuilding world. I think for me, getting into bodybuilding and competing and going to shows and seeing like, why does no one pose like they used to pose back in like the 80s and the 90s and all this sort of stuff? Watching those guys, and I was just like, I don't know why people don't do that as much anymore. And then it was something that I wanted to do, and I started bringing it to the stage. And I don't know, just like this desire inside myself that like when I'm presenting myself on stage, that's what I want to bring. So there's obviously, you know, what the judges want and what the judges like, but then there's also just like what do I think, because I think the individual has you know, a small part in shaping the way the culture forms. If enough people think this is awesome and they start doing it, that creates a movement, and then other people do it. And you've seen that happen with the return of classic physique and everything as well. And that's kind of what I've been trying to do as well, and stuff that I've embedded into my routines. And
do you think that you enjoy? I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm not interrupting. I am interrupting, but I'm just. Do you think that? I'm going to ask you a question. I didn't write this down, obviously, and that's why I leave it open. When do you think it changed? Do you think Dorian Yates changed it? Like, when did it change? Because Dorian Yates keeps coming in my head. Because he had the like it was real high energy, where I feel Lee Haney was still doing it in a way. He had the tucked in gut, the vacuum. I think Lee Haney, look, I know a bit about bodybuilding. God, I'm just remembering. But what do you think?
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I think Dorian, probably, I would say the first of the mass monsters.
Yeah.
And not maybe like amazing physique, but maybe not quite as eloquent as some of the guys that sort of came before that. And then after him was Ronnie, and then it's sort of just like I think there was still guys around that era that were posing like really, really well. Like I think like Sean Ray and Chris Cormier, and I think.
But that's still. Yeah. Sean Ray is, I think, you'd correct me if I'm wrong. I think Sean Ray was still Lee Haney era. Wasn't he kind of still or not? Or was he more into the Dorian Yates era?
Yeah, I think both. I think he kept competing through most of the 90s. I think I was actually watching this little clip of when Ronnie Coleman won his first Olympia. I think Sean was still competing then.
That's what I mean. I mean, he went for a while, Sean Ray. I think he's still going.
Yeah. yeah. I think he came I think it might have been, when did Ronnie win his first one? It was 98 or 99. It was, or somewhere, or I don't know my exact history, but I'm like, it's somewhere around like late 90s, early 2000s. I don't want to misquote anything, but I saw this clip and I was like, oh yeah, but I think it was sort of starting to gradually phase out. I don't think it was like the classic era ended. I think it was just like a slight transition. Like people saw this, more people wanted to be like this, more people started being like this, and then that sort of just changed the way the sport evolved, and then it kind of went in that direction for a while, and then my opinion started to go too far in that direction, and there's obviously a lot of demand for it as well. I'm definitely not alone on this, because like the last I'd say 5 to 10 years, like people really appreciating the classic physiques, people being able to pose gracefully, do a vacuum, all those sorts of things becoming so much more popular again. So yeah.
Okay, so Dorian Yates, he was definitely what a physique. I saw him in Australia, Did you see him in Australia when he came?
No, I didn't.
I saw him. No. I saw him. He did a show in my 20s. I went to a show in Penshurst or some kind of RSL club. And he was off season, and he was me and you together. He was big, massive, man, massive. When I saw him come out, I looked at him, and he was a shock. They're that big, these guys. Yeah. So he was he was quite amazing, and I think he definitely changed you, like you said. Okay. Hey guys, Steve here from Muscle Talks. I just want to say thank you for you guys being here. Thank you for watching this podcast. What I'd really love is for you guys to hit the subscribe button. Why hit the subscribe button? It'll just allow us to have a bigger reach, allow us to go get a bigger audience, and also bring you the best of the best here. Our goal here is to not only get our local people, but also international, and eventually, and hopefully, and will be bringing the Olympians to this station, Muscle Talks podcast. So please hit the subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell, so every time our podcast is launched weekly, that you get notified and you can sit back and enjoy this. Thanks, guys. Let's phase back into my questions. Your goal in your recent post is to create content and educate, contribute positivity, explain that and explain positivity. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So just to elaborate on,
why do you want to make it positive? Is it not positive? Or you need to make it more positive? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Explain that, educate, content, contribute positivity.
Yeah. I see what you mean. So yeah, like contributing content in a positive way to the industry, because I do think there is just so much content like on the internet in general across all platforms, like any social media platform, anyone can post anything. And I think there needs to be people who can put out like good content and sort of point people in the right direction, because you can look up like any kind of diet that's like healthy or unhealthy, people promoting, crazy drug protocols as well. Like you can just put that out on the open internet and people are just seeing it and being like, oh, this guy's doing this, I should do it too. Talking about, hardships with competing and stuff like that, what you go through mentally, because I think a lot of people get into the sport, not necessarily everyone, but I'd say there's a pretty high percentage of people who feel like they're lacking something within themselves, and it comes from a place of insecurity. They get obsessed with personal development, and that is almost their way out of those problems. And it has, good things and bad things about it. But also sometimes you can almost like transfer your self-worth to that thing, and then you go and do a comp, and then you finish your comp, and then it's just like you're depressed again, kind of thing. And so I think, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff to be able to contribute and educate in a positive way that I think also helped me when I am going through this, and I had people mentor me through this process. And so it's just seeing the impact that it had on me. I think that's something that I want to do, and be a positive influence on, the next generation of people who are, engaging in bodybuilding, or personal development in general.
Okay, so how do you think you're going to do that?
Just to start with, by doing like epic podcasts and sharing my knowledge and wisdom on those podcasts.
Epic podcasts, okay.
But like just putting out content, and also through coaching and mentoring people. So I work really well in a one-on-one setting, just like people going through a contest prep and helping them get in the best shape of their life and be very competitive, but also looking at their whole life in a macro picture as well, and be like, what is going to be, healthy for them in the short term, in the long term, all that sort of stuff. And so, it's on a more personalized level to a small scale of people, but then delivering, good content to a large scale of people by, the stuff I put on Instagram and stuff like that. Even contributing positive, well, somewhat subjective, but I think like the artistic posing content that I'm putting out is a positive influence on gym culture. It's definitely a lot of people have looked at that and thought, oh, this is really cool, and then it might inspire other people to want to do the same thing, and then that little domino that gets kicked off can create this effect that might not seem like much, but if enough people do it, then it kind of changes the direction of where things go. So I think in terms of what I mean by trying to create influence and content to educate people and contribute something positive to the fitness industry, basically just taking the stuff that I've learned from people mentoring me and my own personal experiences, and being able to pass that on to other people.
Yeah, I think that I was just listening to what you had to say and what I see from you. You are definitely, we're going to go through your education. You seem like a pretty educated guy. You know what's funny? I'll tell you what's funny. I'm going to offend a lot of people here now, and I'm going to be part of the offense. I'm going to be part of the offense. I'm not a very educated guy. I'm not. I never did a university degree. I didn't do any. I did a PT course. I said that to you, and I went from the mailroom to network engineer. That's what I did. Mailroom to the network, to a network engineer, right? For HSBC computer engineering. But the gymnasium wasn't the smartest place. I'll just let you know, it was meatheads. In my time, we're all fucking meatheads, mate. It was just that. And sometimes I look at the industry, and you know what? Sometimes it's meatheads. And to be honest, I think you're trying to tell me, you're trying to probably bring in some professionalism to it, really. Some, like you're posing, some elegance. We don't have to fucking swear. We don't have to be showing everyone's booty, because I can't tell the difference between a bikini model and a fucking personal trainer anymore. Like it all looks the same. It's all shock and awe. Everyone starts with bench press ain't going to help you, but let me tell you how it's going to help you. Like all those kind of things. So I think the industry just looks the same. Looks like you don't have to be the smartest. I don't know. They're going to hate me. I don't care. Everyone's going to come on this podcast anyway, because we're going to be real. Because I love bodybuilding. I love it. I love going there, and I've always believed when you walk in the gym, your problems stay at the door, but they're waiting for you. But you got no problems in the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got no problems in the gym. But as soon as you walk out, guess what's out there? Your fucking problems.
Yeah.
So I love the gym because it gives you that place. Do you agree with the gym?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Like, do you agree with a bit of my explanation without? I'm not bagging. I'm not saying. Look, you know what? Sometimes I'll give you an example. My nephew, I'm not going to mention his name. He did sports science at university, and to be honest, I didn't know he was that smart. He looked like Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure, and I said, Jonathan, what the fuck? What did you get in your ATAR? What, you go to uni? Where the fuck did that happen? You know what I mean? Like, all right, they might not look smart, but everyone's kind of starting to make it seem like you don't have to be smart. And I think you need some smarts now, because the industry is growing to a point where everyone's talking about being a mentor, a fucking mental health coach, fucking their coach for everything. I don't see a psychologist say that they can make you do push-ups. They stay in their lane. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That does make sense. Yeah, I think it really contextualizes and adds to my previous response as well. I think that's like another issue is that I want to contribute to the industry in a positive way, but not beyond the scope of the stuff that I can actually do. So it's just I'm not going to go watch a 10-minute YouTube video and then be like, okay, guys, I can cure your depression now. It's all good. Trust me, I know.
Let me interrupt for a second. I watched. I don't really plug anyone. I watched Mark Boris, the whatever he's called, his podcast he's got a podcast, the Mentor or whatever it is, whatever he's got. He was talking to a personal development coach that looked after Ash Barty, everyone. And I said, I've got to listen to this guy. And let me tell you something. He's the first mentor guy I believe and like. Wait. And Mark Boris asked him, what about when someone comes to you with mental health issues? Listen to this, mentor coach. You know what he said? That's above my pay grade. I send them to a psychologist.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? He's a mentor,
yeah.
But when it's something scientific, you need to get in there. He's now saying, he didn't say psychiatrist because they do drugs. He said, I'll send them to a psychologist. I work with a psychologist and my mentoring. That was music to my ears. Do you agree?
Yeah. I definitely agree.
I would say you guys should work with psychologists. You guys should form a team that when a psychologist is talking to somebody that is overweight and depressed, the psychologist should turn around and say, you know what? I've got a guy. His name's Peter Hartwig, right? And he's really good. I trust him. He stays in his lane. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to introduce you to him and we're going to do something together. Wouldn't that be better?
Yeah, I think that sounds great. Like a referral network of
I think you need a referral network. Well, that's me anyway. I've come up with a great idea, Chris. Make sure we paid in that and registered it. But Pete's involved. Pete's involved with it. Pete's on.
Yeah.
But you're always on. You're always on. Chris just realizes he realizes he's an employee. He thought he was a business owner. I said, no, mate, you're not that good. You're an employee.
threeog.shop.
So tell us about the posing. When did the art of posing captivate you? Like, as you made it like a ballet, you've made it like ballet, and not just a routine, quite seamless actually. When was that moment you went, I'm in love with posing, and ballet came in?
I don't know if it was a moment more so than just, it feels more like it was a gradual transition. Because I remember my first couple of posing routines. I think it was either my first or second one. My actual technical positions in terms of like the poses and stuff like that were pretty shocking. They were quite bad in terms of like what I understand now. But yeah, way back in the day, I used to do a bit of like tricking and gymnastics sort of stuff, and I'm like, I can do handstand push-ups, and I don't reckon there'll be any other bodybuilders who can do them. I'll just throw them into the routine. So I've always tried to add some sort of flair of entertainment, and then it drifted from that. I think the longer that I did, initially it was just like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then another routine, I threw in like a backflip. There was one routine where I came out and I had almost like, it was like not full on like bondage gear, but it was like pretty close. It was
I think I saw a mask.
Yeah, well. There's a few bits and pieces where it's just like, it's almost like coming from like a theatrical background. It's just like when you're entertaining an audience, you know, that artist has like a story that they're telling, and you know, it's like their costume items or the way they present themselves are symbolic of something inside them that they're transferring to the audience that they can feel.
What comp will allow that? What comp allows it, or you can do it?
Do the like costume pieces and stuff. I used to do that in like INBA a lot back in the day. It kind of, well, it was sort of like I would talk to like my friends and my coach and be like, what can I get away with, you know? And it's like, what's the worst that'll happen is that they'll probably ban me from the federation after competing in a different federation. It's probably the worst.
You're a frustrated theatre person, aren't you? You're a frustrated actor.
I would say yes.
Yes, you are. You need to be on stage. You need to be on stage, bro. We're going to get you on stage.
Yeah. I'd say probably less frustrated now, but I feel like it was just like that was my outlet. It was just like, all right, I'll put this in. But it kind of drifted from, you know, just like, it was kind of just like whatever inspiration came to me. I was just like, oh, there's this cool song, and that would go well if I have this. Sometimes they were super simple. They didn't need any acrobatics, any costumes. They were just like, I think I heard this song from, I think it was, can't remember the band. It was like an orchestra.
Village People?
Nah.
Macho Band, maybe?
Nah, it was like an orchestral version of Apocalyptica. That's it. It was Apocalyptica. They did an orchestral version of Metallica's Nothing Else Matters, and just had these beautiful violins and just everything. I was like, oh, I have to pose to this. And then I think that was probably one of my first routines that kind of looked a little bit more like the ballet stuff, where it was just very smooth, nothing too fancy. It was just like pausing on a note for a little while and then gradually transitioning, and just rather than having entertainment with a lot of flair and excitement, just with grace and beauty. And it's just a different style. And then I started doing more routines like that. But I think, like, from a technical perspective as well, my posing got a lot better. It was just like, you know, I just had more time in the industry and examining pros and being like, oh, when you know, watching how they hit the 3/4 back bicep, they always have their hips rotated in a certain way, and they always have this and this. And I was getting a lot more technical and better with how I would perform those poses, which I think lends itself to that sort of graceful style posing. And so I'd say it was just a gradual thing that happened over many years.
Do you think that? So I've never competed. Does your posing routine score your points?
in most federations, it doesn't.
Let's just stop there for a second.
Yeah.
In most federations, it doesn't, right?
Yeah.
So why doesn't the federation just make it everyone has to learn one posing routine and we'll see who's the most muscular? Because that's all it is. Like, why not have what you're offering? Everyone does it, and I'll see you have the best back. You've got the best bicep because we're comparing to the same routine. Because some routines, some bodybuilders might not know they're not getting the best out of themselves. So if everyone got a template of a routine and they practiced that routine and got it up, and the other guy got it up, and the other guy got it up, and the other guy got it up, but in the same grace, then the judges can actually put the routine to one side and judge it on muscularity. That's what I think. What do you think about that?
I think it would have some benefits to it for sure. I think there'd be some problems with it as well. I think in terms of
entertainment.
Yes, everyone doing the same routine, but entertainment, that would be one. But I think also some routines would definitely suit people more than others as well, and suit certain physiques. And so I guess doing choreography for a lot of different athletes, there's just certain styles that will suit different people, different personalities. And so I do like the individualness of the routine. So I do like that people can have like their choice and do different routines. But I think the fact that it's not scored, I think makes people a little bit less likely to put effort into it. However, I think that it's still scored implicitly, so it's not on the official scorecards. But it's like everything. It's just like if you're a professional athlete and you go out and act like a dickhead in public, or like you're really shit to all your teammates. It's just like it doesn't cost you anything on the scoreboard, but it does still cost you, kind of thing. And I feel like that's the same type of thing. Like if you can't be bothered putting together a good routine and you just go out there and you just lump around and do the bare minimum, that's kind of the same thing. It just shows a little bit of lack of professionalism and all this sort of stuff. So it's kind of, as human beings, it's almost impossible to eliminate that in a way. And I would argue that part of how I got noticed and how I got into like shows and stuff like that is like my routines. People, even if I lost the show, people would remember me and remember my routine and be like, oh, this guy's coming on, like he's going to do something good, kind of thing. So I feel like maybe on an implicit level, I don't know, like without consciously being aware of it, could potentially sway judges if, you just look more interesting. Their eye just is drawn to you, kind of thing, because it's a subjective sport at the end of the day. So
I guess it's one routine. I don't know. Look, I don't know. I'm not saying that mate, it's booming at the moment. Everyone wants to get up on stage. And tell me, I asked Jay Fit, I don't know if you know Jay Fit. He told me, I said, what is it about posing? People love posing. And he goes to me, do you like dancing? Is it like that? He goes, it's like dancing. Is it like dancing?
Yeah. I think it's so much like dancing. It's like you have a song that you perform a routine to. There's a series of specific moves, and then like choreographed transitions between those moves. It's almost like a cross between dancing and martial arts type thing. Like I think of like certain like katas and stuff like that they do in different types of martial arts, combining strong positions with kind of the same sort of elements of dancing, where it's just like, oh, yep, you're portraying some sort of story to the audience, you're landing on certain beats and transitioning on other parts of the music and kind of tying it all together in a performance. So I'd say it's very similar to a dance, yeah.
Well, I think, because I'm just thinking today, I think later, I think tomorrow, I think maybe they should have a whatever you want to do routine on the opens, and if you want to do classic, you've got boundaries. If this is classic, we're going classic. If we're playing the best music, we're doing the Arnold style, the Frank Zane style. We're doing the Frank Zane style. You know what I'm trying to say? I just
Mm.
feel if you want to differentiate the whole thing, well, you know what? Because some guys are doing classic and you can do all of it. It doesn't matter what, but they're doing opens and they're doing classic. I think maybe this is what I think. I'm not here to change things. I'm just saying your routines to me, I would be so entertained to see it done by each guy and seeing who can get it right. I think not only see them muscular, but see who fucking nails the routine. Like really judge it on that classic bodybuilding routine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it will bore me. You can have it in the opens, in the speedos, and you got the men's physique. But when classic comes on, I just think across the board, you boys are going to be seamless. You're going to dance together. And you just look at it, you go, oh, he got it. You got the routine, man. Did you see that? Oh, whoa, look at that guy. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what we need to see in classic. That's me anyway.
Yeah.
It just came to me now. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it could be onto something. It could be, because I just had an idea on that. You could be like, you give the same set of poses in the same types of order and then let people perform it. So it's like, here's your routine. You've got to start with a front double bicep, and then you've got to do a lat spread. Then you've got to do this and this and this in that, these 6 poses in that order. And then it's up to them if they want to transition, how they transition toward it or something. And then it's like, they go do it and you judge it on that.
I think it would be beautiful,
Yeah.
personally, because then I can judge me. I'm already looking at the routine, but sometimes the routine in the song is shit. But if they say, guys, you got 5 songs to choose from. That's all we're doing. This is the routine. Maybe even giving them 2 routines. Choose one and go for it, because you're going to get judged on muscular and presentation. And I just think it'd be nice, personally.
Yeah, I'd go to that show. I'd watch it.
I would go too, because then you'd go, oh, that guy, I saw him last year. He practiced, man. Look how good he looks. Look what he did with the arms. Look at that back, double bicep. I like everything. It's just I think anyway. All right, calisthenics at 10, weight training at 14, seriously after high school. Tell us that story.
Yeah, so when I was around like 10 years old, it's probably when I was like the most body conscious as well. I had this.
Stop there. What do you mean by body conscious? Go for it.
Just self-conscious and insecure about how I looked.
Why?
Physically. Why? Well, I was short and wide. I wasn't fat. I just have wide bone structure for just like I'm not fat. I'm just big bone, but I actually am, kind of thing. It's just like I am. I'm quite wide for my height, which is why I've been very successful in bodybuilding. But like walking around at school, kind of thing, in a daggy school uniform, and then I had one of my friends who was like quite skinny, and just the girls liked him more. And I was like, all right,
damn that guy.
Yeah, so I'm just like, that's it. I'm getting,
but he's fat now. But he's fat now.
Yeah.
Unfit, smoking, hooked on alcohol. Yeah, we got him.
Yeah.
We got him in the end.
Yeah, got him good. So I got stuck into just trying to get in shape. Just doing basically like chin-ups on the monkey bars and push-ups and that sort of stuff. I think, I can't remember how old I was. I might have been 11 or 12 when I was like, like push-ups and chin-ups and stuff is good, but I want like to get some weights, and my parents wouldn't get me weights. It's too young. So I roped there was like a box of encyclopedias, and I roped them together with like my rollerblade shoelaces. And I was just like, just doing
them once as a boxing bag,
and just doing whatever I could to try and I don't know, build some muscle. But I hardly ate anything though, so I was just like, I got pretty ripped though. I was just like pretty shredded.
Did you get the girls?
Nah, nothing happened. Nah.
Well, make sure I ask you at the end. Did you get eventually any of them?
It was a waste.
It was a
I don't care about the muscles. Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. I got into that. So, started doing, like mostly like calisthenics, type stuff. I got into it a little bit when I was 12. I don't know why. I think I was just like, I want to learn how to do like backflips and that sort of stuff. And I wasn't able to do any like gymnastics classes or anything like that. It was more so just kind of in the backyard with some mattresses and stuff like that. So, got into that sort of training. Yeah.
And then seriously after high school, what happened?
Yeah. So when I did turn 14, I think it was 14. I got it was around 14, 15. It was one of them. It was either my 14th or 15th birthday. I got like dumbbells and stuff. But finally, like, here you go. You can start working out. So I started doing that. And then after high school, I went and studied exercise physiology at university. And then I was just obsessed with learning like the different training methodologies and supersets. This is drop sets. This is like 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 12, whatever, and just trying out lots of different programs and stuff like that. And then just just really focusing on that sort of stuff. And then when I was doing stuff properly, that's when I made like a lot more like beneficial gains. Because at the uni I went to, we had some really good lecturers as well. There was one guy there who was I think he'd retired as like the strength and conditioning coach of, I think it was Australian Rugby Union or something like that. There was a few other people with those same style accolades, where it's just like, they're basically the strength and conditioning coaches for elite sporting teams, and they're basically teaching us, okay, cool, if you've got an athlete who wants to develop explosive power in that, or if you're training an athlete for this sport, you put a GPS monitor and see how many kilometers they run in the game, and you want to map the training specific to that specific sport. You don't want to be too random about it, all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, I'll apply these techniques to bodybuilding and stuff. And I think bodybuilding in terms of science was a little bit behind some of those other sports that have way more money behind it. So it's just like, if you're in the Olympic rowing team, there's going to be a lot more research and scientific evidence to your practices, where I think the bodybuilders, like back in those days, sort of like, just what does the biggest guy in the gym know? Okay, do what he does, kind of thing. Kind of so thing. True. And then it was sort of just like applying that combined with this information and science and stuff like that. And I think there was always like science applied in bodybuilding, but I think it just became a lot more mainstream once YouTube and Facebook were invented and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and no, it's good. Tell me
went
something.
Out to the masses.
Maybe you can help break a myth. I mean, is it true weight training stunts your growth? I don't know why. We've all heard that.
I don't think.
But is that true?
I don't think it does. I mean, I'm saying that as someone who's really short, but like, it's like, nah, bro, you'll be fine. But I had a mate.
Bro, you'll be fine, mate.
Yeah, one of my mates did weight training. And he was actually really successful in rugby league, and he was about, I think, 6'2". And so like, he was training weights just as much as I was, but different genetics. And I think the other thing, I don't know, maybe I think about this too. It's just like, maybe the weight training and the excessive energy expenditure from the weight training combined with not eating enough, maybe. Because I'm quite short, and both my brothers are like 5'10", 5'11", and I'm like, what the hell happened? Like, and I was just like, maybe like when I'm doing all this weight training and dieting when I was 12, 13, 14 and stuff like that, I'm never getting enough calories to really fuel my body enough for growth. And so maybe growth spurt and stuff like that wasn't as much as it could be, but not necessarily the weight training itself. It could have been, I don't know, like just a lack of energy input relative to such excessive energy output. But I guess you could achieve that with doing any exercise, really.
Because you said something about you could have gone into any line of work, I guess, with your studies, right? And you said something more lucrative. sports. But you've stuck. I'm assuming you probably do other things. I'm saying, do you do anything outside of bodybuilding, or is it bodybuilding alone?
For like hobbies or work or
no work, business.
Yeah. So at the moment, I have done a lot of jobs in the past. So first job I did was actually doing farming. I worked on a sweet potato farm. I tutored mathematics to high school kids for a while. Worked in retail. I was teaching Cert 3, Cert 4 in fitness for a while. I worked a few different jobs, but most of the time it's been in the fitness industry, coaching, doing PT, stuff like that. Currently, I'm doing 1 day a week at a supplement store, and then 4 to 5 days a week just on my coaching business. So contest prep for athletes, posing coaching, creating digital resources to sell online, that sort of stuff. I did a little bit of work in the film industry once I graduated film school. But I got a couple of contracts for like maybe, just one was this for a couple of weeks and the other one was sort of on and off for a month, but it was a little bit not quite stable. That sort of stuff. Yeah. So, but most of what I'm doing now is just in the fitness industry.
Okay. So tell us about the wins. Tell us 40 comps, man. Tell us, because we're not going to obviously go all through the 40 comps.
Yeah.
Tell us your best favorite win and tell us the comp you didn't do well because you didn't possibly prep or turn up the way you should have. Like you went half-assed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did, but I'm sure you did them all great, the whole 40. But tell us, 40 comps, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Right? Why so many?
Yeah.
Loved it. All right, cool. But what was your favorite win? The win you went, this is it. I feel it, right? And what was your worst?
Yeah. Okay. So my favorite one, it's still probably the first time I went to America and I won the INBA Natural Olympia, I think.
Wow, that's massive.
Yeah. And it's pretty close between that and the IFBB Pro card. That was massive too. But I'll put this one slightly ahead because of the turning point in my life because of it. It was just it really changed my perspective on what I believed I could achieve, because even going over there, I wasn't thinking I'm going over there to win. I was more thinking I'm going over there kind of to make up the numbers, because I know this is an international competition and it's just amazing to be a part of the team. And like, if I could place top 5, that would be epic kind of thing.
Yeah. Wow.
And then just to be like looking around and being like, I came in really good. So I gave it everything leading into that show. And then when I was there, and then a few of my teammates and a few other people were saying, well, it's going to be really close between you and these other guys after I won my class. And I was, because in my mind, I was thinking, I might be able to win my class as well. But like being like a 70 kilo athlete and beating a guy who's like 90 kilos kind of thing, it was just like, it was always like a setback. Like, how am I going to beat someone with that much muscle kind of thing? But I was sharper, fuller, and just more well presented on stage. And then when I won that, it was just like just completely unreal. It was just, and it just changed my perspective on everything. And I think it really just boosted my confidence in many other areas of life as well. Just being like, okay, if I really work at something for a very long period of time, I can just keep climbing and don't stop. And so that was amazing. My worst one would probably be I think there's a few. There's a couple that's like where I've prepped on short notice, where it's just like, oh, I get to go over to Europe and compete, at Worlds or whatever. And it's just like, oh, it's happening in like 9 weeks. damn, it's not enough time to really get ready. And it's just like knowing like 3 weeks out that I'm not quite lean enough. It's kind of a painful experience. But then I think the actual worst one was I qualified for nationals down. I think it was down in Sydney. I think it was A&B, and I think it was like at the Marconi Club out in western suburbs, out toward Penrith area. Maybe not quite that far, but out that way. But it was it was about a day before the show, and I started carving up, and I started feeling good with the carbs in, and I'm thinking, man, I must have been so flat. Look at how full and vascular I'm getting. I think I need more. And I was at my I ate like all these M&Ms. The worst thing, I was just dirty loading, basically. It was just like my brain saying, yeah, Peter, this is great. This is exactly what you need, where it's really just my body saying, you've been starving. Put some fat on, put some fat back on. And then, I don't know how many I ate. I probably had a couple of 100 grams extra carbs, a couple of 100 grams extra fat, and just like spilled over massively. The next day, I just looked soft and watery, and it just wasn't enough time to get rid of it. So it's just, it was so disappointing. Like, I woke up in the morning and I had to catch my flight. And I remember saying that if it was a Queensland show, I literally just wouldn't have gone. I would have just stayed at home. If I had to drive down the road and compete, I would have been like, nah. But it's just like, I've already booked the flights, I've booked everything. It's just like, I'm going to go to this show. I still end up coming third.
What?
But yeah, but
like, there was three people.
Yeah, three people. No, I think there was about, I think there was maybe like about 10 or 12 people there, but like,
wow, good numbers. It's like fishing. You're just talking about a big fish that you didn't catch, but
yeah, and in my mind, it was
okay.
And the people that I lost to as well, I definitely could have beaten. And it was like one of those things where it's just like, oh, like, you know, if I didn't mess that up, yeah. But
okay, well, that's I had a question. I was just on blanking of listening to all that. I was listening to. Let me just think for a second. Oh yeah, is there? And Laurie from one of our podcasts said, I think she was podcast 4. Post-comp blues. Have you had post-comp blues?
Yeah.
Is there such a thing?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, post-comp blues, it's I think it hits people harder than they realize.
Yeah.
Leading into the show, you think, oh my God, I can't wait till after the show. I get to eat again and everything. And then you get through it. I think it's because like you build up such excitement and anticipation of this event. And then it's just like you're constantly working toward it. And then once it's finished, you have this massive crash. I think it's like, I was listening to something about this, and I think it's like, it's got to do with like dopamine reward systems. And it's just like, they're kind of kicking on when you're in the pursuit of something. So it's kind of just like, oh, I take an action, I make progress toward it, dopamine spike. Do the same again, and then you get to this thing, and then it's just like you fall off a cliff, because it's just like everything I've been working toward for the last 6 or 12 months, or however it is, you feel kind of this vacuum of purpose, and it's kind of just like, it can just make you feel like, oh man, like, what do I have left? Particularly if you've kind of compromised a lot of the other factors in your life leading into that show. Like if it's just like, oh, like my relationship was compromised because I was prepping for this, I cut back on work, I cut back on this, and then it's just like you finish the comp, and then it's like all the other stuff that you normally have going in your life is at a reduced level as well, and you're kind of just like, oh, and just put on all this water and fat after the show as well, and you just like, it happens so quick. It's just like all this effort to build this giant thing, and then it's just kicked over in like a very small period of time.
I know. Well, I didn't know about it, but it sounds quite serious. So I guess maybe you should, since you're right, you've got a book, we're going to mention it. Maybe you should write something about it. Maybe you should do a blog. Maybe you should write and let people say, listen, if you're competing and you want some help, here's my post-comp blues blog.
Yeah.
I think you should. I know a lot, eh?
Yeah.
I'm quite business-like, aren't I?
Yeah. That's a good idea.
It is, man, because you got to understand. You said you want to do something positive in the industry. So I'm assuming you want, and you said educate. Well, there's a process. It seems like this is a process, and I think everyone's just getting to the comp and fuck the rest. But there seems to be something that happens after it. So how about you help people know, okay, get ready. Get ready 24 hours. Don't hit the donuts. Just get chicken again. Go easy. Eat some chicken, a bit of sauce. Keep that going, and let's get back to the burgers in 48 hours. Does that make sense? I think maybe, I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is, have you got loved ones, friends? Do you need to say sorry to a few people?
Yeah.
Say sorry on the day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but that's what I think. It sounds like it's a serious matter, and we should look after our athletes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Well, if you do something like that, we could post it here on our Muscle Talk. You know what I mean? Because I think it's a serious matter. You know what I mean? Something we can really, we can tag, collaborate each other on that, if you like.
Yeah. That sounds like a great idea. I would, yeah, definitely keen.
Yeah, please do. I mean, like I said, we can work together. We can even film you if you like. We can get Chris to film you talking about it. You know, we can use our resources. Doesn't have to cost you anything. And if you write the script and you sit down and explain it on camera, we'll film you doing it. You know what I mean? Let's look at that. You know?
Yeah.
It could be part of the session with Pete. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can show someone an exercise and say, look, I just want to add something to this. And we could do we can marry it, but we can do two posts. One sits on its own. You know what I mean? And we could film you. I mean, we're in New South Wales, but I don't know. Like I said, we could work something out, you know?
Yeah. I do come down and visit Sydney. I lived in Sydney for almost a year, a little while ago. I do come down every now and then. Like,
well, look, if you do come down and you've written something up and you want to make it look sharp and professional, we can put you in our studio, or we can do a location shot. But we can definitely use our exquisite equipment to make I mean, you already look good, but we can make you look better. At least you should see me what I look like without all this lighting. It's not a real moustache, Chris. He's a good makeup artist.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing what he does. This is if you buy our cap, you get a mullet stuck to it. Or you get a back mullet with it. Just let you know.
That's what that is.
Yeah, pretty cool. That's what it is, man. Okay, so what is the love affair you have regarding classic bodybuilding? Why is it so popular now? Why do you think it's so popular now? Yeah. Why have you? Why is it now stealing the show?
Yeah, classic bodybuilding, I think, is stealing the show now because I think the sport just swung too far in the opposite direction. It was almost like, I feel like it's just almost like a natural progression of kind of life where just like clothes and stuff like that, things go into, they're in fashion, and then too many people do it or whatever, and then it just like people want to be different, and then something else takes over, and then it goes in another direction, and then that comes back. I think it's maybe something like that, where it was just like classic bodybuilding kind of evolved into just mass monsters, and then I think people were just like, well, hey, where's the grace, where's the elegance, where's the non-meatheads kind of thing, that, that sort of thing, and just like we want to see some of this come back. And I think it's more appealing to people outside of the bodybuilding community as well. Like if I show,
it's also slightly believable, achievable.
Yes.
Like I could look at it and go, even if I don't go on stage, if I could look like that guy, look good at the beach.
Yes.
But the other guys, you go like, what do I need to do to get to that point? It's like I do that, you know?
Yeah, yeah. You could show that to someone and be like, oh, that looks cool. I'd love to have that guy's chest. Like you show like Chris Bumstead's physique and be like, oh, wow. I think a lot of people would love to look like that. But if you were to do the same with, I don't know, any of the opens, people are like, oh, wow, that's amazing. What a freak kind of thing. And, you can admire how impressive and how difficult it is to get to that and have a ton of respect for it. But at the same time, I think less people are like, oh, I really want to devote my life to look like that. Just like I want to go and watch what that is. But I think, the classic is just more marketable and more achievable for people as well.
Yeah, no, I do. And is that your favorite division?
The classic? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but by a mile. Yeah,
by a mile. Okay. Since we're talking about who are your favorite, I call them athletes due to their posing style. And who's your favorite athlete due to their posing style? And who is your favorite bodybuilder? So maybe two are different.
Yeah.
In other words, you might like someone the way they pose.
Yes.
And you might like someone the way they look. So give me the two.
Yeah, I would say in who are competing today, I think probably.
I'm talking about no, your favorite.
Like ever. Yeah. That's going to be a difficult one. I would have to put Arnold up there.
Arnold for
just bodybuilder.
Posing or bodybuilding?
More,
because remember there could be something.
Yeah.
Posing or bodybuilding. I know he could do both.
More bodybuilding.
Don't get me wrong.
More bodybuilding. Just like everything he brought to the sport and just the craziness of his physique and everything and how far ahead he was and everything. I think put Arnold up there. In terms of posing, that's going to be very difficult. There's heaps of people that I've really liked. I'll probably pick. There's so many to choose from, but I'll probably go with say.
Pick your top three.
Yeah. So I'll go with someone from.
And it can be modern. It can be
modern. Yeah. So I'll pick a few from different eras. I think Terence Ruffin. I think in the modern era, I think like what he does is
explain him because I don't know who he is. But give me quick, just a brief on him. What year? What period? What you go ahead.
Yeah. So a couple of, I think he's won the Arnold Classic USA. I think I should know this. I think it's about 2 or 3 times now. And he's
what's his name again?
Terence Ruffin. I think on Instagram he's Rough Diesel. He's really good. He's pretty short like me as well. His posing style is very graceful, very elegant. It has that kind of same sort of ballet element. He just moves really well. Mm-hmm. You can tell that there's a lot of work put into the choreography. Even things like the theatrics of where does his eyes go when he hits this pose. He pulls. Wow. He gives his attention to the audience, pulls it away. His choice of poses. It looks like a very professional style. It's very, very nice to watch. And I would say other than that, Kai Green is definitely up there. I thought he was...
Oh my God, Kai Green was just crazy, man.
Probably one of the most entertaining bodybuilders of all time. Just
He's also trying to get into acting. He's trying to get into theatre. Yeah.
Yeah. He's someone I think like really brought such interesting character to the sport. I just think people like
some masks on too.
Yeah. So people like that, I think, really bring just something really special. And then one more would probably be Oh, there's so many. I'll probably even go with say with Sean Ray, whether people like him or don't like him. It's just like his posing style is very beautiful. And I
Yeah, he was
remember
good. He was
there's a few elements where I would almost copy certain elements of his style. Well, I did this to build my own style. I would look at other athletes and be, the people who came before me who laid that path and be like, okay, the spin from this side to this side looks really beautiful. How does he do that? Oh, he twists his hips this way and does this. And then, I just thought like his posing was really beautiful as well. So I think if I could only pick three, I'd probably pick those three.
Okay, so Arnold's your favorite, and those three guys. Got it. Have you pulled a muscle posing, and how did you cope? Did you have to soldier through it? So have you ever pulled the muscle?
I actually have. I've actually damaged my chest muscle posing in here.
Really?
You probably can't see it. No. I don't want to create the illusion of having like bad symmetry or anything. But
no, don't do that.
Like
mate,
sometimes when I hit a most muscular, you can just see that there's like a little kind of divot.
Yeah. The divot. Yeah.
That varies off. It's
How'd you do that?
Hitting a side chest pose after training chest. So it was just like I'd probably, you'd already broken down the fibers and damaged it and everything like that, and then just doing some hard posing and just squeeze real hard and then pop, and I was just
so you pulled the muscle. Wow. Did that teach you a lesson? Like, whoa, you don't want to be doing that on stage.
Yeah, it taught me a lesson. I was just like, wow, I can just voluntarily squeeze my muscle to explosion. Like, what the hell? Like, shouldn't, I don't know, do I have something wrong with my Golgi tendons that they're not kicking in and stopping that happening? I don't know. But, the fact that I was just able to just voluntarily contract to the point where it's just like I tore something. I think it was the fact that I was pretty close to being comp lean, so I was in a compromised state. But then also, if I hadn't have just trained chest for an hour before that, it probably wouldn't have happened either. So it's already pre-damaged the muscle to the point where it's like, it's pretty compromised. And then sort of like another time where it's just like I train legs, and then 2 days later I go running and pulled a calf muscle kind of thing. Sort of, yeah. But
no, I was thinking to myself, because some of the posing and the tenseness and the core pulling, and honestly, I think that scares me more than dieting and getting myself ready for a comp. I think the routine is the scary task. So tell me, is every rock ocean behind you the perfect 80s pose? Like, is it every rock? Because I've noticed the foot position placement is paramount. So that's the perfect rock, guys. Quick, get me my 80s Speedos on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? The perfect rock, the perfect where the leg sits, and everyone does that 1980s, 70s, 80s pose, 70s?
Yeah.
What's going on there, mate? Where did you find it? Which part of Australia did you find that perfect rock?
Oh, where it's just the water in the back.
Or is it everywhere?
The water in the background and hitting those with the classic.
I mean, I've seen the what's it called? The what do you call it when the water falls off a cliff? Waterfall. I've seen the waterfall once.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not 80s, mate. 80s is that rock that you look like you're going to fall in the water.
Oh, yeah. And then shooting across and seeing that. I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of places. Well, I know where it is. It's more just like, do I want everyone going there and filming there?
Don't tell us. But
it's northern New South Wales. It's northern New South Wales.
It's perfect where your legs. Excuse me. It's the perfect rock that the left foot is there and the right leg is there, and just it looks like you can marry in all the classic bodybuilders into that shot.
Yeah. This is the one with the water the water in the background. Yeah, not the mountains.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Everyone does that one. You know, back in the day, and I'm looking out to mention John. He mentioned that it was some of the best photographers, but everyone is just taking it with their phones, I guess. But I'm assuming, do you have photographers for these shots? Do you take a professional guy with you to do?
Sometimes, yes. There's definitely people that I've shot with for like specific content, particularly when I'm getting leaner and leaner. I like to do some professional shoots, particularly like whenever I was leading into a kind of like, oh, I'm doing this much work to get ready, I may as well get some professional shots. I've recently bought a professional camera as well, so I've got that that I use to film some stuff myself sometimes. I normally don't take it out to locations like that by myself, because it's hard to get stuff like that when all right, I'm going to set the tripod up here and all the gear and stuff, and then go and stand here, and I can't actually see if I'm even in the right spot or frame it up right, all that sort of stuff. So I normally, I do professional shots just myself at the gym and stuff like that, but every now and then, I love to get out and
So when you're there taking the photos, are there Chinese tourists there taking photos? Oh, look at this guy. Let's take a picture of this guy. Bodybuilder, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. That's actually, it has happened a couple times.
It has happened.
Yeah, it has happened.
Oh, look here, Aussie man posing in underwear in front of water. I like this. And you're acting like you're all alone in the wilderness.
And meanwhile, it's just like if you pan a little bit this way, there's all these people taking photos as well.
It's a popular tourist spot.
There's been a couple of those. I normally don't like the extra attention, but I don't know, if it's there, then why not?
That's funny. Hey, tell me, I just thought, because you did your stuff, has there ever been someone wanting to learn to pose, though they don't compete or necessarily train bodybuilding? Have they ever come to you and said, teach me the art of posing? I don't want to compete and I actually don't do bodybuilding, but I want to learn to pose. Do you have that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Chris, yes. You can do it, Chris. Chris can come and pose.
Yeah.
He trains.
Keen has.
Really? Why? Why do they do it? Why do they do it?
There was a couple of people, actually. There was one person who just he used to compete, I think, in men's physique like a while ago, and then he's sort of retired from that. He went on to do, I think, jiu-jitsu and a bunch of other stuff, and but he still just really appreciated the art and everything like that, and he's like, that's something that I'd love to be able to do. So I taught him a routine and taught him a bunch of poses, and he just made this, like, it almost looked like a music video. And it was just, wow. I think there was like a drone flying around, and then he was shot from different angles and stuff. And it was very artistic. I think I shared it on my story. It might have been about a year ago.
You might be onto something, champion.
And so
you might be on. I think you're onto something. Before you know it, it'll be no more booties and all posing.
Yeah, it'll just be that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it. That's great. All right, so you said that you do have people that want to learn the art of posing. They're fascinated by it.
Yeah, a couple of people. It's not the norm. Most people, I would say like 99% of people for their comp or whatever, but I've had like a handful want to learn it. Some people because,
that must be nice.
Yeah, it's good.
No, that's nice. So tell me, what was with the hair growing up? The color green, the mask, and the acrobatics.
Yes.
You had green hair at one stage.
Yeah, I did. It was supposed
posing away there in your yellow knickers.
Yeah, it was supposed to be blue, I think.
Oh, well, maybe it is.
And
blue.
then
maybe
I think it faded out to green. But it was probably one of those. I don't know. I think it was just finding myself, different styles. At one stage I had like tons of piercings as well.
You did?
Yeah.
Why did you have tons of piercings?
I don't completely know, to be honest. It was just one of those things where it's just like, that'd look cool if I had one there, and I'm like, that does look good. Maybe I'll get the other one done. Put that one in there, and just like, may as well put one in here. I'll get some stuff up through here, and just, I don't know, you just start getting them done.
What changed all that? What stopped? What made you take it out?
Initially, bodybuilding competitions. So when I went and competed over at some of the IFBB international shows, before their federation split into the IFBB Elite and the IFBB Pro League, they had I think these strict international rules for I think men's bodybuilding divisions. You're not allowed to have facial piercings, so you have to take them all out. And so I took them all out, and then a couple of them got infected, and I just decided, you know what, I'm just never going to put them back in, kind of thing. And then also for a while, I did a bit of jiu-jitsu for a while as well. And so obviously you can't have tons of piercings in doing that, and so I had to keep taking them out. And it's just annoying taking them out, putting it back in every single day that I just left them out.
Was it a statement though? Was it a statement rebellious? Was it something you were going through? You angry person or you happy person? Or just who gives a fuck person?
Yeah, I think it was wasn't necessarily. I think it was more just curiosity, more than anything. Okay. Just kind of that looks good on other people. I wonder if it'll look good on me. I'll be like, I'll give it a crack. And it's sort of I don't know, less permanent than a tattoo as well. So after a while, it's just I'm sick of this. Get rid of it.
What about the mask? And then I saw some flips.
Oh, the mask.
What was with the mask? Was that your?
Yeah.
Your thing?
Yes.
Your coal green
mask? Yeah. That's when I did. I think the first time I did the routine with the rose.
Yep.
And so, I had a mask on. It was almost sort of a, the Mask of Zorro type vibe that I was kind of going for. And I had this, it was almost like passion and romance type thing. I came out with the mask and did, just dramatic poses, and then through the rose, actually onto the judges' table was how that routine came out. And eventually it evolved when I learned to do a little bit of the sleight of hand and stuff like that. So when I came back with that routine a year or so later, I started just with the rose hidden, and then just pulled it out and then threw it away, kind of thing. But initially that routine started with coming out with the long rose in my teeth and a mask on, and kind of this I don't know, mysterious character coming in, kind of thing.
Zorro.
Yeah.
Bit of a Zorro.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that. I mean, I haven't seen it. It doesn't look like it's. I think interesting. I mean, I think it's you. I think you gotta do Les Mis. Maybe you should do a Pumping Iron theatre show.
Yeah, Pumping Iron theatre show.
The Pumping Iron theatre show. Hey brother, get cheesecake. I like cheesecake.
That could be
or something, with Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
You could do a Pumping Iron theatre show.
Yeah, Pumping Iron theatre show, I think would be
and you can have dancing and singing, but you could play the music of the era. It could be the Bee Gees, could be Rolling Stones, could be Fleetwood Mac, but you could play it, and you could do the Venice Beach, and you could create Arnold taking off his top, and he's Lou Ferrigno, and also what's his name? His mate passed away recently, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I can't get the name.
Franco
Colombo. But like I said, you could probably even do the scene where he moves the Fiat. You could probably do a musical. There you go. I'm giving you some great ideas.
Yeah.
I better
Sounds, I don't know. A musical sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like just
theatre production.
Yeah.
Mate. Anyway,
it could be good.
I'm trying to feed your desires, mate. I'm trying to get you. Do you seem like you're a guy of expression?
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
September 9th.
Is that Scorpio?
No, it's Virgo.
Yeah. What are Virgos like?
Like obsessive, detailed, in their heads a lot.
Say no more. Say no more.
Yeah.
Say no more. You're right. You're Virgo, mate. Well, first, you're not laughing at my jokes, which is a bit offensive on my podcast. So we'll go with that. What is your favorite outright pose? Your favorite outright pose?
I'll probably say the mantis.
What's the mantis? Is that?
Yeah, the mantis pose is like to the side and hitting.
Oh no, sorry, that one.
Yeah. Hey? Yes, that's it.
Oh shit!
That's the one.
Stop the chair. Wait, is that the one?
Yeah.
Tell me if I get it right. Wait a minute, shit. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, look at that. Look at the muscles.
Yeah. That's right. You were before we started, you were telling me about you were going to compete.
I was.
Yeah. So what happened? What happened there?
But here's my phone, Chris. Give me my phone because I'll show you something. I'll show you how detailed I was. So I had no coach, and I'm 54, so 4 years ago, and I'm just bringing it up. I don't know if I will be able to bring it up. Anyway, here we go. Training. I'm just bringing it up. Sorry. Training. Here we go. Anyway, I wanted to compete in 4 years ago, 2019, and I was going to do an IFBB show, and I had no idea. I just knew, all right, 10 months out, I'm going to go for it. So I was with, again, nothing. I just would boil food, like poach it. Then I would put it in containers, weigh it. I didn't even know what to weigh. I was guessing. Everything was guesswork. Guessing it. And I was probably putting a bit of sauce or olive oil, and I was just building it up. And cardio was big. I would ride the bike, push bike to the gym, push bike back, cardio at the gym. So I was doing a lot. Skipping between sets. So I'd finish chest, I'd do a skip. Biceps, finish. Go upstairs, bike, so much cardio. Then I thought I'll hit the juice. First time. I said, well, where do I go to do juice? I said, okay, this demographic. I said the demographic. Okay, this demographic, and him and his brother are fucking huge. So I go to their little apartment, and he goes to me, are you sure, Steve? I said, man, come on, let's go. Let's do it. He goes, all right, pull your dacks down. And we started from there. But the worst thing was, he must have loved me because I just wanted more and more and more. And he gave me more and more and more. And the funny thing is, I've learned it's part of my diet, but I got colitis. And my colitis flared up. And I kept going, though. I was training with colitis. So it's an inflammation in your mouth. Yeah. I was training, fucking dieting. I was in pain. You wouldn't even know I was in pain if you look at my poses. And then there was a week I lost my appetite. Gone appetite. So I sat for a whole week not eating. And my ex-wife and my daughter go, we're taking you to the hospital. I go to the hospital. And I was, and they said, I had to tell them, I'm on steroids or whatever. And, they gave me like an arrowroot biscuit to eat. And before you know it, I was so vascular. Like I was fucking, I looked like I was ready to win the comp. Like you should have seen me. Even the nurses go, are you a bodybuilder?
Yeah.
What what the fuck? My teardrops. Yeah, everything was like, oh my God. Even the rest, just having a rest and then putting some food in, it just went boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I realized that what I realized with the cycle was it actually made me appreciate even the bodybuilders till today. That I still needed to get off the couch. I still needed to train. I still needed to eat right. I still needed to turn up. But I was just stupid with the cycle. I think less is more. I think finding the balance. And I think going into, if I ever decide to do a comp, look, I think I do need a coach. I don't need a coach early stages. I probably just need a coach towards the end. But I'm very good if someone tells me what to do. I can do it. But I think I probably would need a coach for the final touches. And I know it sounds egotistical, but if I'm going to do a comp, I'm only going to go to win. So that means I've got to get a coach that's going to have to go with that mindset with me, because we're not going in any other way.
Yeah.
Like if you're not gonna hammer me and I'm not gonna hammer you back for it, don't let's not go there. So it's more like so that's what happened. I blew myself out, but I look pretty good. I've got to say, I've got some photos, but it was quite funny.
So after hospital, you had it.
Oh, after hospital, I continued doing well, and I went to the IFBB Sydney comp, and I watched everybody, and I felt good about myself. But like I'm not going to say I suffered actually 10 years from the age of 43 to 52. I suffered depression. I did not know. I know why. I'll say it was all medically wrong. I should never have touched it. I should just be allowed to cry, scream, and shout. I shouldn't be allowed to be egotistical Steve. I didn't need to be suppressed, but I was suppressed. So I guess that also affected me a bit. I'm looking for the training thing. That also affected my my depression. But I got to a point where I looked okay. You know what I mean? I got to a point. I'll show you. You want to see? Look at this. What is that? How's that look?
Oh, wow.
That's me at 50.
Wow, that's fucking jacked.
Is that good? 50. By myself. No coach. Me doing the diets. That's me even suffering colitis.
Yeah, that looks crazy.
Look, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, that was me. It's funny. That's the first time I've really shown it off. Hey, Chris, look at this one. That's just on the hips and pushing forward.
Yeah.
So I guess, look at this. Look, this is me training. Can you see that?
Nice.
Yeah, so that's really me, man. That's this was a really good pose. Look at this. This is when I was. It's funny. I've never shown anyone these, but look at this. All right, look. Let me zoom it up. See the legs, the teardrops, and the quads on the outside.
Yeah. So has it something that you've thought about you would still do, or has that experience like put you off?
No. I could. This is a bulking stage. Look at this bulking stage. Oh, Chris, look at that. That's before I got lasered.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm a bit scared. I'll be honest with you. I'm a bit scared. I don't know. I want to do it. I think I just got to do it with the right person. If I do it with the right person and they guide me in, I'll do it. But I don't know who to ask, to be honest, and I'm a bit scared. But would I do it? Yeah, of course. Will I give it? I think I have to now, but I don't know when. Maybe I'm 20 kilos over, man. I don't know what the fuck. I've got to get rid of this 20 kilos. You know what I mean? Like, it's not me. Like, I'm not happy with myself at the moment. I don't like who I am. So anyway, it's podcast about you, not me. But what I wanted to say was, I can do it. I did. That was me by myself. That's no. I didn't YouTube do anything, man. I was just putting my smarts together and giving it a go at 2019. So it was pretty jacked, wasn't it? Not bad, huh?
Yeah. That was very impressive.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. Maybe I will. I'll tell you what. If I do it, I'll be reaching out to you to make me.
We'll definitely put an awesome posing routine together.
Fucking oath, man. I told you I'm not here to take part. I'm here to take over. You know what I mean? So we've got your favorite pose. Good. I usually ask this question at the beginning, but I'm going to ask it now. Tell us about growing up. Like, and what did you want to be? Did you want to be a fireman? Like, tell us about growing up.
Growing up. Yeah, what did I want to do?
Where did you grow up? Where? You said, were you a country boy?
Sorry,
Were you a country boy?
Not really country. Probably about an hour or so north of like the city. So sort of like outer suburban areas. So I just grew up in sort of a I guess a sort of a regular sort of middle class sort of family. Areas sort of like not like the best area, but you know, decent, I guess, but little bit dodgy.
It was good.
Yeah.
Explains your
yeah.
And what did you want to be? What did you want to be? What did you want to be? What did I want to be?
Yeah.
I actually wanted to be a businessman all my life. Don't ask me what.
Yeah, I wanted to be an athlete or some type of artist. I remember thinking that
Mm.
I'd love to be like a singer or an actor or something like that.
It shows. Are you going to do it, or are you going to be frustrated for the rest of your life? Are you going to
working my way there.
I think you should, man. I think you should.
Thank you. This actually happened when COVID shut everything down basically, and it was just like the fitness industry was pretty much dead for about 18 months at least. Well, most of the parts, and particularly what I was doing. And so I really thought that, oh wow, like I can't believe that I've been telling myself that I'm going to, give, the entertainment stuff like a proper crack for so many years and not actually doing it, and just caught up with like trying to earn enough money, trying to pay bills. And like, if I can just get my business to this point, then I can take time and put it into this, and then trying to juggle the two and just, so I decided to say, you know what, stuff it. I did a course in screenwriting so I could understand the framework of how to write scripts and how to take ideas that I thought this is a good idea, but how do I put it in the format of actually being able to communicate that? And I absolutely loved the course, and I was like, wow, this is such a great tool. Because prior to doing that, there was like a film that I wanted to make, and
what was the film?
I haven't made it yet. I've made a few other films. I'll definitely keep you posted on it. I'm planning a like a little writer's retreat to do a fair bit of work on it at some point this year. But
well, I think besides the Pumping Iron theatre production, why don't you do the kid that wanted to win Olympia? Why don't you just do a kid that picked up bricks and did bicep curls, and in the end he's on the stage doing Olympia?
Oh yeah. For a second there, I was thinking if you're talking about a fictional film or like a doco, like following someone around to.
No, you like, when they show you a film of an Indian kid,
yeah,
and he makes it in the big city from India, let's just say, why can't you do a small bodybuilding film, showing the story of what bodybuilders go through?
Yeah.
That their mothers grill their chicken.
Yeah. Well, I've made a film. I've made a couple films about bodybuilding actually, like two short films. The most recent one was a comedy though.
A comedy?
Yeah.
Can I imagine? Oh, well, that's good. That's all right. So that's what I think you've got to do it, man, because I think it's innate in you from what I hear, what I see, and what I feel. So, but you're young enough to get there, but I'd start doing it. Did you train today?
No, I haven't trained today. Just
are you going to train today?
Yeah, I'll probably train after this.
What are you going to do? What are you going to train?
So I have to figure that out. Normally I'd probably train like back and triceps, but I've actually injured my bicep. And so
back and tricep.
Yeah. So even stuff where I'm like doing a lat pull down and stuff like that, it's quite irritating. So trying to work.
It sounds like a perfect leg day.
Yeah, I did legs. I did legs last night. I'll go in and hit them again.
Oh. What are you training, Chris? Back of what? He's doing back of biceps.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can't do biceps. I think you know what's a good exercise?
Stay home. Yeah. I was thinking maybe I'll go in there and pose for 2 hours. Yeah.
Pose.
Yeah.
Why not? Okay, so that's what you might do. What did you have for breakfast?
For breakfast, I had oats with protein, collagen, and a banana. So
do you know we've got our own protein?
No, I didn't.
We've got our own protein.
Oh, nice.
I don't know why you haven't bought it yet.
30G.
Oh. Yeah, it's called 3OG, but it's 30G. Yeah,
3OG. Yeah.
Yeah, 3OG, but 30G, 30 grams of protein.
Oh, nice.
Grass fed, gut friendly.
Nice. Grass fed, like whey protein isolate.
Yeah, whey, grass fed. And if you really want to test it, you can wear it as cologne. Is that right? You could put it on.
Oh,
you look amazing.
Yeah.
yeah, man. Great. It's shampoo.
Shampoo as well.
Shampoo. You could do shampoo as well. Yeah, shampoo. Bit sticky, but you could do a good mohawk.
Yeah. I think I'll definitely keep that in mind for my next routine.
Next routine, you just use 3OGs, 30 grams of protein, and not only can you drink it, you can actually put it in your hair and make your hair look great. And a bit of, it's like talcum powder, but it looks really good. Good for your skin. What's your favorite meal of the day?
Favorite meal of the day? I would say probably dinner, but I like breakfast food the best. So it's a bit weird.
We all like breakfast food the best. What's your favorite breakfast? If it wasn't any breakfast you can have, no bodybuilding any breakfast, what would it be?
Probably like a big breakfast with like maybe croissants or pancakes, ice cream, maple syrup. Usually when you go to like a restaurant or something and they have some sort of variation of those combined together, they just make it this giant decadent plate of of thousands of calories.
God, you make it sound good. Decadent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You talk about a big breakfast with pancakes and ice cream.
So decadent.
It's decadent, mate.
So decadent.
You make anything sound good. No, you make posing look good. I guess you can make anything sound good.
threeog.shop.
All right, we're going to go through the body now. This is the final bit. All I'm going to ask you is a body part. Now, if you don't train it, that's cool. Even if you don't train it, you want to say something you can do with it, great. All I want is to know the exercise, sets and reps. Very simple. You'll understand as we go. I'm going to keep asking sets and reps, even though you're going to say, oh, but that's what I do with everything. We chop this video down, so we want to have it if we're going to do it on our posts. So we always start with traps. Do you train traps?
I don't actually train traps.
Fuck. Nah. You know what? Chris could probably have me for the last 10 podcasts just go, Fuck, no traps again. Fuck, no traps
Yeah.
again. Fuck, I'm the only one training traps. All right, no traps. Don't tell me no more. Let's just go from there.
Yeah.
No traps. Got it. Delts. Rear delt.
I don't do much of that either. Just like
He doesn't do
much traps or rear delts. I do I do lateral rate. I do laterals.
Or lateral raises for what do you do for lateral raises? How many reps? How many sets?
Normally about four sets of about 12 to 15, and I like to do drop sets on the last couple of sets.
It's a lot of drop sets. So how many reps do you get on the drop set?
I'll normally just rep it to failure. Try to aim around 15 at failure, and then just drop the weight about 20%, and then just however many I get, just do as many as I can. Or
what about front delts? Do you train?
No, I don't do any front delts.
Do you train front delts?
I don't do it.
Far out. You know what? You don't do anything. It does nothing. You just
pose, and then everything grows.
You just pose.
Yeah.
You just pose, and everything grows.
So
you pose, you grow. Hey, that's your new thing. You pose, you grow.
I did a lot of shoulder work when I was younger, and also doing a lot of the like handstands and stuff like that. My shoulders kind of grew almost as because I was working them in the gym and then working them with the gymnastics type stuff and calisthenics type stuff. This was probably when I was in my 20s and stuff like that. It was just like, oh, they're already kind of where I want them. So I just really tapered back to training.
Oh, so you have to be careful what you do so you're symmetric. Is that right?
Yeah, just like if I had an extra hour of training, I'd rather put that into my chest training as well. And looking at, my muscle insertion points as well. I'm very, very wide, but, some people have very long pec insertions. So mine are not as long. They're more wide. So I think I can benefit from a lot more chest training as opposed to training the delts. So that's why I do that.
All right, well, let's go to chest. What do you train for upper chest?
For upper chest, normally like incline. I like to go on the Smith machine, just so I can rep it to failure or close to failure, and not worry about getting stuck or anything.
Wow, how many sets?
Normally 4 sets.
How many sets?
4 sets. Rep ranges will
to failure.
Not every set. Usually the last 1 or 2 sets to failure. I like to keep 1 or 2 reps in the tank for the first couple to build up the volume.
How many sets?
How many total sets? Usually 4.
How many sets on the first rep? Sorry. How many reps on the first set?
How many reps on the first set? Normally aim for anywhere from like 6 to 10. It sort of change. It will change like week to week.
Oh, you throw a bit of weight on there. Mm-hmm. What about the chest itself?
I love to do a lot of flies. Like heavy incline flies.
You love flies?
Yeah, heavy incline flies with dumbbells.
Flies. How many reps? How many sets?
With that one, it kind of varies again. I like to mix up my set and rep ranges. So starting off in, say, like a 12-week program or something like that, I might start off with like 12 reps or something like that, and then work my way down to, say, doing heavier at about 6 to 8 reps to really build up the max strength. And then just so I don't overload the joints too much for too many weeks on end, I'll taper back to doing, say, as high as 15 to 20 reps and just focusing on a lot of stretch, time under tension, and just really cranking up the volume. So normally about 4 sets. 4 sets, and the reps kind of vary from week to week. Not drastically or randomly, but more like a gradual progression.
Okay.
Biceps. I love, my favorite exercise would be incline curls. Dumbbells. Yeah, just incline. Yeah. Just getting that.
Oh shit! How many sets and reps?
Normally 4 to 5 sets. I like to go a little bit higher in reps on these, like 12 to 15. I just find that I've responded as well. Was sort of in that moderate to high rep range, and just get a crazy pump there as well. But occasionally I'll do like a small block where I'll work around sort of 6 to 10 reps, but most of the time it's in sort of 12, 15.
Tricep?
For triceps, I love the overhead rope extensions.
I like those too.
Yeah.
How many reps? How many sets?
Sets and reps. I keep these 4 to 5 sets. Keep them around anywhere from 12 to 20. I like to do kind of high reps on these. I get a really good pump. Sometimes I go a little bit lower. I find I've had this issue sometimes with triceps when I go really heavy and really low reps that I get a bit of elbow pain on some exercises as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's like trying to build up that strength in the 6 reps or less kind of thing can be a bit of an issue. But if I go anything that's sort of 10 plus, it's pretty good.
That's nice. Abs.
I don't train abs as much now, but I probably try and get them in like maybe once a week, and I'll do like a combination of like hanging on a bar and doing 1 minute of just constant tension. So I'll either be just leg raises, so raising my legs up, raising the knees up, kicking the legs out in front, those sorts of things, and just constant tension. And then I'll do like a circuit on the floor. So it might be like 150 crunches total. So it might be like 50 bicycles and then 50 crunches and then 50 rope climbs or something like that. So a lot of calisthenic type stuff where it's just like continuous tension in there.
Do you do them like all 3 and then do another few sets, or just one off, one, or you do 2? Like,
I'll just do them.
Any sets?
Yeah, I just like to do them back to back. So just like to do do 50 and then do 50 and then 50. Then obviously after that, just take a break. Just rest and then maybe do another round.
Okay. What about quads?
For quads, I guess it depends. Like I built my quads doing a lot of squats, but in the last couple of years, they're having a few issues with my back. I've been doing a lot of lunges, a lot of Smith machine lunges, single leg leg presses, and those sorts of exercises. I'll do again 4 to 5 sets in sort of 12 to 20 rep range. Sometimes I go quite high with legs. It's fun. I get just good response from them.
What did we say? Did we say sets and reps there?
Yeah. 4 to 5 sets in the sort of 12 to 20 rep range. Yeah.
You've got a lot of 4 to 5s.
Yeah.
What about hammies?
Hammies. Hammies have never been one of my strongest points, but what I have found has helped them is like deadlifts, stiff leg deadlifts, Nordic curls. I do like the Nordics, so where you sort of lock yourself in and sort of hinge down on the eccentric. And I'll do say 4 sets on those and just stopping. Honestly, with those, with the Nordics, I don't even really count them. I just go until basically I feel like I can't do any more. And I might stop 1 or 2 short of failure on the first rep or on the first set. Yeah.
Okay. Glutes?
For glutes, I don't do anything specific in the glutes. It's kind of just embedded in the compound leg exercises. So single leg presses, and a lot of the lunges as well. And then when I'm back doing squatting as well, I find that helps a lot.
And calf?
For calves, yeah. I love to mix it up with calves. I feel like I need multiple angles for calves. So I love to do seated calf raises, and I do those in higher rep ranges. So 4 to 5 sets of seated calves, 20 to 25 reps. And then I'll do standing calves, keeping the reps a little bit lower, anywhere from say 10, 15, sometimes as high as 20. I like to do at least 5 sets of each normally. Just find it Yeah,
5,
I
6
feel like
inches.
calves are one of the body parts that they can never be too big. Just want to keep the volume on them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. And what about? Yeah, I know. But when you train calves, are you saying you do 2 exercises or 3 exercises
I'd normally do.
with all
I'd
those
normally do.
reps and
I'd
all
normally
those
do
sets?
2. Yeah, 2 exercises, like 2 different variations. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you train the tibialis?
Not intentionally, no. I'm sure it gets some work in there with some of the exercises I'm doing, and it would get a little bit of stimulation during the seated calf raise and stuff like that. But I don't do anything specifically for it.
What about forearms?
Forearms, yeah, definitely. Train those. It's like you've got like the barbell.
You train those?
Yeah.
You train
Train
the
the forearms,
forearms?
with the barbell, and you do like these curls. I don't really have like a rep scheme for those.
Yeah.
I normally just set a timer and go anywhere from 45 seconds to a minute, and just
I usually
not allowed to let go of the bar.
No, I usually I usually just do to failure. One exercise just till failure, just because I feel like I want to touch into it. Well, this is your moment to tell people where they can find you. So the floor is yours. Tell us your socials. Tell us if there's a website. You know what? As well, and I apologize. I don't know why I missed it. You're an author, so you've written a book. You know what? Fucking go for it. Say what you like. Talk about everything, what they can buy, what they can do, what they can have, where they can find you in person, whatever.
Yeah.
You ready? Time starts now.
Okay, sweet. So you can find me on Instagram. It's just my name, Pete Hartwig. If you type that in, it should come up. Also, you can find me on the internet on my website, which is just petehartwig.com. And on there, I've also created an extensive resource that teaches step-by-step guide to learning the fundamentals of posing. It's called the Encyclopedia of Classic Physique and Bodybuilding Posing. And you'll find that on the homepage of the website. So it contains a 113-page ebook with step-by-step pictures to show you exactly how to move through each pose, as well as 43 video tutorials as well. I'm working on some more content to put out there as well. And other than that, I offer training in contest preparation and posing as well.
Awesome. Well, Pete, it's been an absolute pleasure. I feel like I pulled someone off Les Mis, got him on the floor here with us to talk to us. I really appreciate the art you've shown. You've made me fall in love with bodybuilding that little bit more, and I want to thank you for it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, it's been an awesome being on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity. So thanks for having me.